Problem 6. Now we're into the real geometry stuff. You know, you're doing geometry when you don't need a calculator, when you don't have to do any math whatsoever. It's just pure logic and reasoning. That's a good feeling. And here, the first thing they're telling us is, if you know side BC, so that's a reflex for me. Like, as soon as you tell me something, I'm going to write that down. I'm going to say, look, yeah, BC, that's parallel to side ST. Well, how did I know that? Well, you told that to me. It's important to understand this is not a side fact. It does not tell us anything about the length of these sides. It's just telling me, hey, you've got parallel lines, and it looks like there's a transversal. And that's where it's useful, because if you tell me I got some parallel lines, well, then I know a whole bunch of angle facts. I know alternate interior angles are congruent, I know alternate exterior angles are congruent, and I know corresponding angles are congruent. And we learned earlier that whenever you have parallel lines, you should look for that Z shape, because that Z shape in the corner is going to show you congruent angles. And that's what's going on here. The angle at C must be congruent to this angle down here, and I'll erase it. And that's what these arrows are telling you, that the lines are parallel, both in picture and in a statement. They're not congruence marks. They're the arrows, which tell you parallelism. So you can see that you got a line, and then you got that transversal. And that's what's promising you that angle C must be congruent to angle S. And that's a statement I can make. Angle C is congruent to angle S. And why am I allowed to say that? Well, these are alternate. I'll write it all out. Well, no, let's be lazy. Alternate interior angles. You can write that. You can abbreviate that. Alternate interior angles. And that's sufficient. If you write that, having previously, and this is the important part, having previously told me that I have parallel lines, well, once I have parallel lines, I know these angles have to be congruent because they are alternate interior angles. And that's why it's important to list that given first, because my second fact, my second statement, that angle C is congruent to angle S, that depends on my first statement, which you gave me. So you tell me lines are parallel, that unlocks the fact that these angles are congruent. And that's really useful, because now I've got an angle fact. And I know if I can accumulate one more angle fact, I'm done. I can prove these triangles are similar by the angle-angle similarity postulate. And you know what? I can, because I got that hourglass shape. I got this angle here and this angle here. And I know those angles have to be congruent because they are what we call vertical angles. That's my reason, and now I'm going to list it out. It's angle BAC is this top angle, and the bottom angle is SAT, set. And for my last thing, I've got my two angle facts. Now I'm ready to say that the triangles are similar, that triangle ABC is similar to triangle ATS. And how do I know that? Well, that's the angle-angle postulate, and I'm going to leave it just like that.